Hello and welcome to Precon Decon, the video series where I deconstruct the pre-constructed decks of Magic the Gathering's history. In this video we're going to look at the last deck from Magic Origins, which is Hunting Pack, which is a black-green deck, and believe it or not, this is the 300th deck that I've looked at on Precon Decon, which is absolutely crazy to me. We're definitely in the home stretch now. We haven't got much left to go after this one. Also funny to note that the that this deck's black green. The 200th deck I looked at was black green. So yeah, there we go. And the 100th deck I looked at was the Nazemi deck, Rat's Nest, all the way back in Kamigar, and that was black. So apparently, when we hit 100 deck milestones, we have black decks. So there we go. Let's look at the deck list for this one. So we've got 25 creatures, 6 sorceries, 3 enchantments, 2 instants, 24 land. Let's get on and start looking at the cards. So the foil face rare is Dwynen, Guiltleaf Dane. So 2 double green for 3/4 with reach. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1, and whenever Dwynen, Guiltleaf Dane attacks, you gain 1 life for each attacking elf you control. So I really like this because it's black-green elves, so it's giving me lovely, lovely Lorwyn nostalgia. Maybe not as good as the original Lorwyn elves, but that might be the nostalgia talking. There's not an Imperious Perfect anywhere to be seen, or a Nath of the Guiltleaf, but yeah, what's here is pretty good. And in terms of like, just because I've dipped into the lore a little bit on these ones, Dwynen, I believe, is the first elf that Nissa encounters after she planeswalks for the first time, and like Dwynen like takes her in and teaches her about like, oh, actually elves are really great, and just like, oh, I don't know about that. I've just fallen in with the bad crowd here who are these kind of like supremacist elves. Oh, not so great about that. But yeah, so Dwynen is, I think, a really solid creature anyway. Like, so 4 mana for 3/4 with reach is okay. Nice tribal effect, just a normal anthem effect, and also this other, when it attacks, you gain the life for all the other attacking elves you control. So I think just a really nice package of abilities there that is just very, very solid. So we've got 2 Dwynen's Elite, so 1 and a green for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, if you control another elf, you will. I think pretty much every creature in the deck is an elf. You make a Elf Warrior token, which is absolutely fine. So potentially like 2 mana to make 3 powers worth of stuff, but it might be more because say you've got a few like pump effects in the deck. So yeah. We've got 2 Shaman of the Pack, 1 a black and a green for 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to the number of elves you control. Oh, it's a good thing that elves aren't renowned for like making a bunch of tokens and going really wide on the board. Oh no, they are, aren't they? So yeah, Shaman of the Pack. I would almost guarantee, like most of the time when this is played, it's like it just ends the game there because it's just like, well, I've got 15 elves, so yeah, I would just view this as like basically like a massive like essentially burn spell with a 3/2 body attached to it. So yeah, the really high ceiling on Charm of the Pack, I think it's fantastic. Almost too good, I would say, at 3 mana. Obviously, it's very conditional. Like, if you don't, I mean, at the very least, you play it like they lose 1 life, right? Because you're going to have at least 1 elf. You're going to have itself. So, yeah, it has a incredibly high ceiling Charm of the Pack. I think out of all these, like the 2-color signpost uncommons in Magic Origins, I feel like this one was probably the strongest, just because of the potential it has. So we've got 2 Sylvan Messengers, so 3 and a green for a 2/2 trample. This is a reprint from, I want to say, like Plane Shift, like all the way back in Invasion blocks. So like this is like some really deep cuts here with the reprints in Magic Origins. Yeah, because we had Revenant in one as well, didn't we? Anyway, so 2/2 trample. When it ends the battlefield, you reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all elf cards revealed this way into your hands, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So this could potentially like draw you 4 cards for 4, as well as being a 2/2 trample. So again, like really high potential on this one. Like it probably won't draw you 4, but like the times it does will be fantastic. Most of the time I think this is going to get you like 1, maybe 2. But yeah, obviously the god scenario is like drawing all 4. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, really nice. There's 2 of these in here. 2 Elvish Visionary, classic. 1 and a green for a 1/1 when it just ends the battlefield, draw a card. Yep, absolutely perfect. 2 Leaf Gilders, 1 and a green for a 2/1, taps to give you green. No Elvish Mystics or Llanowar Elves in Magic Origins, which is fine. Like we don't want the Elf deck to be too explosive, I suppose. Like at least wait a turn for your Mana Dork. But yeah, this is absolutely fine. I actually do like that it's got a slightly higher power, so it can be quite threatening then as an attacker or even as a blocker actually. Two Yev's Force Mage, 2 and a green for a 2/2. When it ends the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+2 till end turn. Yep, just a perfectly fine effect. This is a nice reprint from M13. Yeah, just having this effect tacked on is really nice, just as a little pump spell. It's okay. Two Deadbridge Shaman, 2 and a black for a 3/1. When it dies, target opponent discards a card. So yeah, this is also, I think, perfectly good. Just have this as a death trigger. Actually, would have been nice to have this in the black-red deck, which cared all about kind of sacrificing stuff. That would have been maybe a nice fix in here. But no, we need more. We need all the elves in the elf deck. But yeah, this I think is a perfectly good card. Might be something the opponent's kind of like unwilling to kill off. I've got two Eyeblight Assassins, 2 and a black for a 2/2. When it ends the battlefield, type creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 till end 10. Yep, just kill off an X1 or like kill off a creature that's taken some damage already. This is like perfectly fine, I think. Yeah, for a common, I think it's okay. Yep. Two Thornbow Archers, so 1 black mana for a 1/2 is an archer without reach or first strike, which is immediately weird to me, but like it's fine. Because whenever it attacks, each opponent who doesn't control an elf loses 1 life. So I really like the small black creatures like this. Like whenever they attack, like they still make an opponent lose life in addition to like the combat damage they're going to do. I just like stuff like that. So yeah, this I think is okay. And yeah, it's like conditional, but like it's still like one. It's still like 1 black man just for a 1/2 anyway. Even if you're playing like an elf mirror match, like this is still okay, you know. So the other end of the deck is Mana Gorger Hydra, which is like it's weird because like there were definitely like rare elves you could have had, as we'll see later. Like this is not a bad card. Again, I have to cover myself here saying this is not a bad card. It's just like it feels a bit weird. I kind of would have liked this to be another elf. But Mana Gorger Hydra, 2 and a green for a 1/1, has trample. Whenever a player casts a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah, it's fine. Obviously, like it's nice and cheap. It can come down early. If you draw it, and then as any if you're playing multiplayer and like spells are flying everywhere, this is going to keep gaining counters. Obviously makes it priority target, but at least it also has trample as well to benefit from those +1/+1 counters. It's not just like a big dumb, essentially like vanilla creature. So yeah, this is like it's a good card, but like I wanted it to be an elf, And then we've got 3 Timberback Wolf, which is the green collectible creature in Origins. So 1 and a green for a 2/2, so it's a bear. It gets +1/+1 for every other creature you control named Timberback Wolf. I really like this creature actually, because I think again this is a reprint from M13. Just like a really solid creature, I think. Really like it. Yeah, and again the dream scenario of having like all 3 of them out and they're all being like 5/5s. No, would they be? No, they'd be 4/4s, wouldn't they? That's right, because it's each other creature. But yeah, I think that'd be okay. Yeah. And then a single Hitchclaw Recluse, 2 and a green for a 1/4 with reach. Sure, it's fine. It's not Deadly Recluse, but very few spiders are. It's okay. And then a single Sky Snare Spider, 4 and double green for a 6/6 with vigilance and reach. So yeah, this is this is pretty big and scary. Yeah, it's fine. It obviously makes it. Yeah, having vigilance is really nice. Yeah, this is a really solid thing to like top out your curve with, I think. So then move on to non-creature spells. So we got 2 Jorga Invocations, 4 and double green. Each creature you control gets +3/+3 until end 10 and must be blocked this turn if able. So, Overrun this is not because it's not giving trample, but at least it kind of functions like removal as well, because at least all your stuff has to be blocked if possible. So it still can force like unfavorable blocks, right? And it's still like a board-wide +3/+3, which is like that's still a good effect. It's just like Overrun is like my benchmark for like measuring these kind of effects. I got 2 Might of the Masses, single green mana. Target creature gets +1/+1 to end 10 for every creature you control. Like we're playing elves, like we're going to go wide. So I think like a lot of cards in this deck, it has a really high potential ceiling. I think because if this is giving obviously more than if this gives +3/+3, it's Giant Growth. If it's giving more than that, then it's better than Giant Growth. And Giant Growth is already pretty efficient as a pump spell. We've got 2 Eyeblight Massacres, 2 and double black. Non-elf creatures get -2/-2 till end turn. So this is like fantastic, I think. Like so 4 mana for like essentially a non-symmetrical like board. Like a -2/-2 is fairly significant. Yeah, like this is great, and yeah, and obviously doesn't affect like a lot of your creatures, obviously because most of the cards you got in the in the deck are elves. So yeah, this is great. I think this is a really solid card to include. A single Macabre Waltz, one in a black. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, then discard a card. Yep, it's just get your essential elves who might have died back. Yep, this is fine. A single Night Snare, so 3 in the black. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, they discard that card. If you don't, they discard 2 cards. So this is like a weird. It's either coercion or mind rot, basically. But at least you get to choose after looking at the hand, being like, oh, I don't care what you specifically discard. Like discard 2, I suppose. It's okay. I don't know. It just feels a bit weird to me. Like why include it? I don't know because yeah. Anyway. A single Consecrated by Blood, 2 in double black. Aura goes on a creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. It has flying, and sacrifice 2 other creatures. Regenerate this creature. So we are definitely coming to the end of like Regenerate's lifespan now. Like it's not going to be showing up much more. But yeah, this is okay. Like at the very least, like it's +2/+2 and flying, which is fine. That's okay. Yeah, especially when we're playing, black and green, we don't have much access to flying. So yeah, this is okay. Obviously, nice on the Mana Gorger Hydra. That would be fantastic. But yeah, this is okay. And then 2, Way to the Underworld, which I just think is very overcosted. 3 in a black. Aura goes on a creature. Enchanted creature gets -3/-2. Sure, whatever. It's okay. Yeah, and then here we are at the land. So a single Evolving Wilds, and then 11 forests and 12 swamps. So there we go. So let's talk about what could have been. So that alternate rare, instead of the Hydra, let's just say Guiltleaf Winnower. So 3 in double black for a 4/3 with Menace. And Origins is the first set where Menace now appears. So Menace, is the ability we take for granted now, but this is where it first showed up, where its first keyword at least. So yeah, that could have been a fun way of showing that off. But yeah, 4/3 with Menace. When it enters the battlefield, you may destroy target non-elf creature whose power and toughness aren't equal, which is a very Lorwyn elf thing to do. Like you're not symmetrical, you're not beautiful, you must die. It's great, love it. So that could have been the alternate rare. And then just other cards that weren't included, like Gnarl Root Trapper here. So 1 black mana for a 1/1. You can pay 1 life to add green to your mana pool, spend that mana only to cast an elf creature spell, which is like kind of not great. It's the second ability I'm more interested in, where you give attacking elf Death Touch and then 10, which I think is a lot more interesting. But at least like you got that mana ability if you need it. And then also Llanowar Empath. This is like again like a really like deep cut on reprints here. This is from Future Sight, I think. So 3 in a green for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you scry 2, then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you draw it. So yeah, this could potentially do a lot for like 4 mana, like 2/2, and potentially draw a card, or draw a creature card. So yeah, that's okay. That could have gone in here as well because it's common. You could have easily made that fit in here somewhere. But yeah, overall, I think this one's like pretty solid. Like it's hard to go wrong, I think, with like black green elves, because obviously there's so many like just inherent like synergies, and like a lot of the cards in this deck have like a really high ceiling. I say like that Shaman of the Pack can potentially do like so much damage. It can be so swingy and like really just turn the game there. But yeah, I think this is like a really good deck. Not as good as the blue red one, the Assemble Victory. I think that was my favorite. But like I'd say out of Magic, the whole Magic Origins outline, this was probably like the second best one personally to me at least. But what do you think of the deck after seeing it? Like you got any stories or thoughts or comments, opinions about the deck, any of the cards in it? Stick a comment below. I'll give those a read. I always do. I always like doing that. But we're now done with Magic Origins. So like I said, we are definitely in the home stretch now of looking at these intro packs. So we've got Battle for Zendikar next. So we got that block, which is now only 2 sets because we're now onto the 2-set model for blocks. And then after that will be Shadows of Innistrad, and then we'll be done. So we've only got 20 decks left before we are done with Season 5. So I say we are in the home stretch. But I just want to say, if you have been watching up to now, if you have watched all 300 of these deck reviews, you are an absolute champion, and I really appreciate it. So, and I hope you will stick around to keep watching for the next 20 as we coast into the end of this this project that I've apparently just decided to do and inflict upon myself. But yeah, so next video we'll start with Battle for Zendikar. So until then, thanks for watching and listening, and have an amazing day.